Hey guys, Zurex here. Welcome back to another episode of Boosters Exposed. This is going to be number 4 in the series. Now I've got a beautiful episode for you this lovely Tuesday. This is a special episode because these guys were caught red-handed by a friend of mine named Gray. They're boosting 2v2 Smash Heroes. There's 2 alt accounts involved and 2 main accounts. And this is special because I give them a full 1 week to try and fix their stats. And try to fix their stats they did, at least on the main accounts a little bit. But I'm going to show you guys how we can actually prove and still show that they boosted even after they've tried covering up their tracks. Of course, right now you're looking at one of my accounts. You are not looking at one of the boosted accounts. The boosters that I'm talking about today are going to be vbru and Dqlm. All right. So that's vbru and Dqlm. There you go. You can see the name. Now, you may have actually seen this guy play before. He plays quite a bit. He's Smash level 719. Now, I've got to say, a lot of that's probably not legit, but he's still got a heckin' lot of wins. He's still got enough game time to where it's impressive. You know, he put a lot of time in. Why would he boost? And I think it's because he just really wanted to get P5 Botmon faster. He couldn't wait. So let's go over. I've got some notes here. As always, if you want a link to my notes exactly, go ahead and find a link in the description. I always put a little summary of my notes down in the description. So all my Whistle Exposed videos, just go down in the description. You'll see my summary tab is right there at the top. Not at the very top, but in the middle-ish, above all my other links. And so you can go ahead and open that up in a different tab if you want to follow along with me. First off, this is going to be Dqlm's account we're taking a look at, and we're going to go down the line from highest account to lowest account. So the big main account, which is Dqlm here, to the secondary main account, to the sort of big alt, to like the absolute garbage. I'm just here to boost my main account alt. So this here is his account. Now, just looking at his account, he's got pretty high win-loss ratios, so you'd expect him to be fairly good. You can see his KDs aren't amazing, and there's a bit of a reason for this. But it's just because he's not that good. And so looking at his stats, knowing that he's not that good, this is actually someone who I've played before in queue several times. Actually, I've played against Dqlm's Botmon. He's been really trying to level up his Botmon. He's not amazingly good at Botmon. Okay, Botmon, just not really his forte. I don't know what it is, but his Botmon, I mean, I've beat it with my kick guard. Truth is, he just hasn't played it that much. And then if you include all the boosting he's done on it, it's a yikes. Now the boosting that I've specifically got to show you guys here today, I'll show you guys a technique I used. And then I also want to go over the boosting that I managed to clean up, I guess, or shovel up in my cup is only a portion of the boosting session that they had. So it's not until about halfway or however much into their boosting session. It could be as low as 1 win. It could be as high as, many more wins that they were actually caught. And then that's when I took this freeze frame of their stats. So what I did is I not only took a screenshot, of course, that's what we're looking at now. This is a freeze frame from in the middle of their boosting session. And then I give them a full week after this to fix their stats. And you'll see they did play quite a few legit games. Now, I'm not going to spam go through between both of these so you can look at the numbers. What I've already done for you is I've gone down and I've written all the difference in stats, okay? So for Dqlm in particular, the main things we want to look at are his 2v2 stats and Botmon stats. Before I go over that though, make sure you leave a like on the video if you're enjoying it, and go ahead and comment down below what you think happened here. So if he boosted or not, and also if he deserves a punishment or not for what he's done. I've noticed a lot of you guys have just been skipping over that part. If I put it at the end of the video, go do that right now, and then, or at the end of the video, whenever you finish watching, make sure you go comment, because I love reading you guys' comments. But yeah, so I took these screenshots and then I also took a freeze frame of their API because I have a bot that auto tracks stats, and so I just threw his name on the list. And so I've been tracking stats about every couple of minutes for the past, well, since this screenshot was taken. If you guys know me, you know that I've got all sorts of tricks up my sleeve, and that freeze frame stats is just one of them. Just also one of the reasons why I hate staff members. I'm really happy that they demoted a lot of their staff. A lot of them were actually boosters. in disguise, but they disabled their API so we couldn't see. Now that that's gone, I guess we can see all their stats for show and tell in the future. Well, if we look at his Dom's stats here, if you look at his 2v2 stats, so his overall win-loss, almost 9, and about a 4.2 KD. All the numbers I'm going to be going over today for win-loss and KD, these are all rounded to one digit after the decimal, so it's going to be like 5.2. It's not going to be 5.25, blah, 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 blah. Just so we're clear on that. So those are the stats. So we'd expect something similar, right? If he's actually this skill level, we'd expect something roughly close to that in the change between when he was in the middle of boosting and I guess now if he didn't boost truly. However, it shows 3.2 win-loss. So what happened here? How did he get less win-loss after being caught boosting? And the thing is, he boosted, but he boosted a lot before, and now that he knows he's been caught, he's gone and played quite a. And I'll be honest, I've seen him play legit on his bomb. And like I said, I've played him several times. He does play legit. He is sort of able to play legit. The only thing is, he sucks because he's never actually played. He hasn't actually played these kits that much. He's boosted so much, and so when he's tried to cover up his stats, he's played legit. But by playing legit, I mean, even with boosted stats mixed in, he's only getting 3.2 in loss. So how do you get a 9 if he's including boosting, confirmed including boosting, getting 3.2? So let's say without boosting, he gets like what, 2 in loss, 2.5 or something? Like that's disgusting. Now, if we look at his KD, so we're expecting about a 4.2. Look at his overall change for 2v2 here. It's 67 kills to 32 deaths. That's 2.1 KD, so about half. So that means that if he's boosting 1-to-1 ratio, he's getting about 8.4 KD while boosting. Obviously, he's getting a lot more than that, and I'll show you guys in a second. But yeah, and so it's clear that this guy just tried playing legit to cover up his stats. But I'm sorry, man. It's too obvious. And for those who don't understand yet, at the end, I'll show you guys a graph. If you want, you can just skip to timestamp. I've got all my timestamps in the description. You can see it if you hover over the little bar at the bottom of the YouTube when you're scrolling through the video. At the end, I'll include a section showing off the graphs, and I'll explain exactly how all of this works and like the science behind the technique with freeze framing and all of this, because I have used this many a times to confirm boosters, people who even to this day refuse to admit, and I mean, it is what it is. I guess that's why we've got this series. Next up, looking at his Botmon though. This is Botmon stats afterwards, and these are his stats before. So to summarize that, he's gone and gotten 22 wins and 5 losses, just about 4.4 win loss. Still pretty good, nowhere near the 8.7. That's and then he's gone and gotten 33 kills and 18 deaths, which is 1.8 KD, nowhere near his 5 KD. I'm sorry. That's not to say these stats aren't obtainable. I mean, there's players like Hyplex out there that have godly stats, and he mainly plays 2v2 as well. And then there's players like me, even I can get similar stats to this if I just focus, I guess. It's a lot of just knowing how to play the game, I guess, but this guy, at least from what I can tell, doesn't really know how to play the game. At least from what I've seen. Anyways, moving on from him, because we're going to try and keep this episode short. I'm not actually going to be bringing up the API that much this episode, just for one small section. Moving on from him, I've got a bit of a story. So this is vbru, the account that was teamed with Dom. Obviously, if you're boosting 2v2, it's either you and 3 alts, or it's you, a friend, and 2 alts. In this case, it was Dom, his friend vbru, and then Dom's 2 alt accounts here. We'll go over in a second. vbru here, quite the character, I should say. He doesn't really play Smash Heroes. I don't know who this is. I don't know if he got stat wiped or something, like what's going on. But he might be a secondary account. I don't know. His stats, not... Jesus Christ, my headset's turned off on me. All right, I'm back. Yeah, this guy's stats not amazing. Smash level 213, that's pretty... I mean, I've got higher than that, you know what I mean? Like, I've got higher than that now. I only play 1 kit. My ults almost got higher than that. So, yeah. Now, this guy's quite the character. Before I go over the freeze frame of his stats, he actually admitted to boosting. So this is a conversation between Gray, the guy who actually caught vbru. His IGN right now in this is Yo Grandma G. And he's talking to vbru. So I put all the screenshots in order. He sent me them in a bit of a scrambled order. But he played a game versus them with supposedly some random team, I'm not sure, versus vbru and another non. And they got perfect gamed, basically. And then after during the game, he was talking to him, and then after the game, he went through and got the screenshots. So, of course, you can see, I'm just going to read through it. So, vbru says, be quiet, lol. Why do you care if I boost? See, I can. And then like you're probably just garbage at every game, which is ironic because Gray's actually absurdly good at this game, crazy good at Smash Heroes. I've played him before and he's very 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 good, far better than I'll probably ever be at the game. And he did get absolutely demolished this 2v2 game, by the way. And then he says cope, which classic response, especially in Smash Heroes community. Then he continues LMAO, log off because he killed him. Well, you're type killing every time, which is ironic. Uh, you're typing. Don't care. Then here he uses the Arsler, which I'm not going to repeat on video. And then also, cope. Why do you care if I boost? You have no reason to, so get the fuck out. Are you okay? Leave me alone. Of course I care if you boost. It ruins the game, you damn idiot. And it continues. It just gets worse here. You can see all the screenshots it's taking on. I'm not sure if this is Badline or if it's on Lunar, but and then R word again. Loser, toxic rat. You have no life getting mad if someone boosts in a dead game. And then he says a lot of colorful words. You have mental issues. And then obviously Gray's gonna respond. He's just having a good time. He's just trying to play some Smashers, man. Why he's so stressed? Anyways, let's vbru, colorful guy. Let's go for his stats now. And this is actually where I'm going to pull up the API just for a quick second because I want to do a blind live take of his Cryomancer stats. Before we do that, let's look at his Void Crawler stats. So Void Crawler stats in specific here, between this is when I took the screenshot and this is his stats currently as it's being recorded, which is maybe 10 or so hours before this is being uploaded on the Tuesday. So we've got his Void Crawler stats, 9 wins and 2 losses. That's 4.5 win loss on his Void Crawler here, which 4.5, that's pretty good for the 2 win loss he's gotten himself, or 1.9. And then if you look at his KD, 53 kills, 6 deaths, 5.9 KD. This guy playing literally one of the easiest hits, one of the best kits. A kit's so good that they ban it from tournaments. And he still barely gets like 2 of them. What? And here he's getting, what was that, 5.9 KDR? Like, this is disgusting. Anyways, let's live investigate his Cryo. So I've just got his API. I just pulled up his API real quick. You can confirm with Mongo Object ID, user UID, all this stuff. You can feel free to verify any of this all you want to prove that I'm not, I guess, faking the API outcome here. His stats, we're going to go into, what is this? Super Smash. And just the reason why I wanted to look at his stats, if you look here, this is Cryo. Where is it? 12-0, 2-0. Played 2 games, 12 kills. Now, in a 2v2 game, which most likely he played 2v2s because he plays a lot the most of everything, can maximum get 6 kills. So this might be boosted. Who knows? So let's go ahead and find out if it's boosted. Let's go to Super Smash class stats. Frosty is the keyword for Cryomancer. Damage dealt, 140. Kills, 12. Let's do the math here. Everybody can do it with me. 140 divided by 12. Average damage per kill of just under 12. 12 damage per kill is not good. Not good at all. Cryomancer, I believe, is a hybrid character, which means they do 4 damage melee per hit, and Frostbolt does, I don't know, 5 or something. Just know, oh, it doesn't do 5, it would do some even number. Just know, like, this guy has gotten 6 melee kills with 52 damage. What? You guys, this is laughable stats. Like, Cryomancer expected damage. I'm not gonna bother pulling it up, but it's. I know for a fact it's somewhere above 40. This guy's got under 12. I mean, yeah. Let's take a look at the alt accounts now. So this first alt account is called Bailey05. All right. At the time of recording this. And these are well-known alts of Dom's. You may have actually played Bailey in game before, because Dom actually plays Botmon on. See, Dom mains Botmon. He actually plays Botmon on this account quite a bit. 3,000 kills, decent amount. Almost enough stats to where if you use 2x XP, he could be MS, which is ironic because guess what he doesn't have MS on? His main. He has more wins and stats on his Beltmon on his ult than on his main, which is just a little sad. Um, and so let's go into this. This is his screenshot of the ult stats before, and this is current stats. You can see the difference there. Let's go over the difference. So his ult went on his Botmon, went 4 kills and 12 losses, including cleaning up crew, which is 0.31 loss. 0.3, not very close to the 4.6 he's got here. And then kills deaths, he went 17 and 32. That's 0.5 KD or so. 0.5 KD, I mean, he's got almost 4. That's 3.9. That's quite a ways away. And then briefly, let's just go over his second ult. This is just Bailey without the 05. It's a VIP Plus account. And here you can see the pug stats, laughably boosted. These are the stats before, and these are the stats after. And Intel's been using it for boosting for quite a while. But let's just briefly go over this. So he's got 3 wins, 11 losses. That's 0.31 loss on the pug between the screenshots here, which is actually far above what he's been previously using this ult for boosting with. And then he's got 12 kills to 26 deaths, which is about a 0.5 KD here. 0.5 KD, obviously, he's got a lot lower than that. So I just want to quickly show you guys here if I pull up this and show you. This is a brief description of how covering up boosted stats works. So what this guy does, and what a lot of other boosters do, is their graph looks like this. So let's say KD or win loss or whatever stats you want to put here. Just as an example, I put X and Y axis, of course, you always name your axes, and then kills to deaths ratio. So the more vertical this line is, the higher KD, and the more horizontal, so the flatter, the worse KD. So in green here, this is a timeline as well. So it's going to start where he's playing legit. So in green is him playing legit, and at his skill level, he's probably getting 0.5 KD or something, right? Or 0.5 whatever. He's not doing very good. And then he boosts in red. Obviously, you can see it goes up a lot. And then he's like, okay, that's enough boosting. And then the next day wakes up and he plays normally again. And then he boosts some more like the next week, and then he plays legit again, blah, blah. Now, when you just look up his stats, what you're going to see is you just see one number. You just see his kills and his deaths. You don't see the timeline. So the number you see is actually this orange line, right? You just see this orange line because you're just a static number, and you assume that static number is just the same over time. Now, what you're expected to see is something like a curve in timeline, which would also show like because that's like you start off really bad at the game and then it sort of gets better, right? So if I do this in, what color can we use? Let's use blue. So if you start off like really bad and then you get better at game, better game, better at game, and then your orange line would be similar because if this graph kept going, you'd keep going up and it would round off the orange line, right? But yeah, so we just see the orange line. What we don't see is this. So how do we see that? So what we do is we take screen caps. So to show that he boosted, you just need to show the red line. So we just have to find a way to cut out the green line, because if you take the orange line and then cut out the green lines, well, now you've just got a red line. So what we do is we take a screen cap. Let's say we'll take a screen cap right here of his stats, and we take a screen cap somewhere like here. Well, now if we just take the stats between that timeline, this is very clearly, it's going to be like a very dark orange, very close to red line, right? Something like this, right? Very close to red. That's actually like a shit brown, but whatever. So that's what we've done. So this is like the screenshot of his stats. But then just to give him an easier time, we took a screenshot after he had already boosted a bit, at the very least. So let's say there. We gave him a full week. So we gave him like this, right? And even with this, we can still see the red line that goes from here to here, right? We can still see that red line. Even with the screen cap. So this is like this first one here. So this, well, let's go freehand. So this cyan line here, whoa, I can't draw. this line here, the first one is going to be like the screenshot that we did of their stats. And then here is going to be their current stats that I'm using for this video. And now in reality, you would automate this with a bot if you're really serious. So my bot, what it does is it just takes a million screen caps like this every minute or so, and it just keeps going. And then doing that, we can actually get the exact intersection, so we can form the exact lines like this instead of just doing like this vague, um, sort of close but not really close red line. So instead of doing this, right, and just mixing up these two lines together, what we can actually do is show the exact line. That's like a more advanced tool, but it uses the same technique. And then here's one last graph I want to show you guys. So this is actually showing if someone only boosted versus if they only play legit, and then like the mix. So this red line here is if they only boosted. So this right here is if they, oh, this is if they only boosted, and then this green line here at the bottom is if they only played legit. And because they're doing a mix of the two, what we're actually seeing when you just check their stats and you're dumb or you're blind, you don't have any extra info. I'm not going to call you dumb just because you don't have extra info. You see this orange line. So just look at the orange line. You might think they might just be a good player, but what you don't understand is that this player is actually this guy and this guy combined. So whenever you're looking at stats, you always have to think of them as they're either this line, but it's actually going to be a combo of different lines, right? That end up averaging into this orange one that you see. All right. So hopefully that technique helped you guys. Maybe if you guys want to shout out any boosters. Anyways, if you want to find out any boosters using this technique, it's very handy. It's one of the best ways that we have of finding boosters in every game across the network. I hear there's some new arcade stats coming out with a new arcade update coming soon. I'm very excited for that. All the AP hunters are immediately going to jump for all of them. And I promise you, I will be there to not only bully them in game, because I'm a fellow arcade player myself, but also bully them on Boosters Exposed for boosting all of the stats that they're about to boost. Make sure you guys leave a comment down below if you guys watched the beginning of this video. When I said to comment down below if you guys think this guy boosted or not, make sure you do that. How much you guys think he boosted, whether or not you think you should be punished, and what that punishment should be, if so. Anyways, I've been Zurex. I've got nothing left for you. Peace.